king judges the poor with fairness. His throne establishes forever.
Yeah.
What do you think Wahenga walikuwa wanasema?
Wahenga wanted, very simple, were telling us that whatever you do, make sure you judge it with fairness. Don't look the status of somebody, whether rich or poor, because the time you make proper judgment, God in heaven knows how to pay. Nature knows how to pay. So make sure whatever you are judging, whatever you are doing any case or any judging anybody, judge him fairly.
And you just walked straight into the trap, right? Because even as we talk about judgment, right? So here's a question where today, early in the morning, when we're having discussion around the situation on the roads today, there are a gentleman who told us, barabara kutoka Kisumu kienda Busia. There's a judgment that is happening there, and this is a judgment of 50 bob.
Yes.
That is making the roads even more unsafe.
Yeah.
Where are we as a country in terms of dealing with the problems on the traffic rules, and why does it seem like no one wants to respect them, whether it's police or kawaida mwananchi? Everyone is just breaking the law.
I say, thank you. You are very correct. Everyone is breaking the law. When we talk of bribes, remember even who is giving is committing a crime. So the one who is taking and the one who is giving. So we have a culture, and particularly in African country, not in Kenya, we have a culture of corruption. Everybody is, whatever job you have, you just think how you can collect something. And I think that money is more sweeter than the one you earn, because because from even our leaders, corruption is everywhere. But the day we will forget about corruption, that's the day our country will grow. Because corruption kills a nation. Yeah.
It does. And if we look at the pictures and the stories, just from the last 2 weeks of December, 3 dead in Grizzly Road accident, 7 dead, 8 killed, 5 dead, 4 killed. Road accident in on Thika Road, kills 5 dying, 3 injured in accident, 7 killed, several injured. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Yesterday, the numbers that we saw, look at what we're seeing today in terms of the numbers. We're seeing, a wreckage of a matatu involved in a road accident in Nyamira Saturday, killing 8. Bus car overturned in South B in Nairobi. It's not just inter-county. A matatu killed a matatu involved in a head-on collision at Chabera Trading Center at the Sondo Yugus Road in Homa Bay. 10 people dead. The wreckage, of course, of Cyrus Njoroge's vehicle that saw him dead on the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. And it continues. These are accidents that we see even up till yesterday. What's the problem? What's the cause of these accidents that we're seeing on the roads, David?
Let me say the problem is very simple. All of us, we don't want to follow the law. There is traffic rules which are never followed. And some of our road users, I just say that some are not even trained. When you go even to the school, our schools, driving schools, there's a problem. We have a problem everywhere, which purely need to be addressed. Because if we continue this way, every festive season, we are here discussing about deaths.
Yes.
And they are continuing. We are saying something has to be done. Traffic rules must be respected. And that is by everybody, even by the people who are lawmakers themselves. They don't respect traffic rules. So what is there is that when you don't respect rules, then what else do you expect? And I believe in one thing, that even God has his rules. And when you're a Christian or you're a Muslim, you know that if you don't follow these rules, then at the end there is death. The same thing. On roads, on traffic rules, if you don't respect them, the outcome, believe me or not, it is death or somebody maimed the rest of his life. So the most important thing, and it is about all of us, is about how are we using our roads. Why is it that during festive season we must see these much deaths? Why?
Everybody's going home. Everybody's going somewhere, right?
But you can move and we can go comfortably as long as you respect the law. But if you don't respect the law, What do you expect? Others even don't know, because most of our road users, like drivers, even they don't know what are traffic rules. They don't know even the name giving way what it means. So I think it is a good time, and I have repeated this several times. 6 years down the line, we have seen a lot of corruption coming on the side of driving licenses. People are receiving driving licenses left, right. And I said, these licenses, we must do something about them. And doing something is to make sure, even if it's to cancel all of them. And when I said this, everybody was very mad with me. But what are we going to do? What is good? Do we continue seeing these deaths on our roads? No. And I said, if you look at most of these accidents, a lorry must be involved. Why? Why is it before we were talking about PSV vehicles, when things were done proper on PSV, now the PSV is not leading. Now, look at the trucks. What is going on with the trucks? It's very simple. They are not going for inspection. Somebody somewhere is eating this money. So all these small things you call small things, and accidents, you don't need to do a very big mistake. It's just a slight mistake. You can just take your phone like this, and then something is passing. What? And it's just picking that call. Things happen. It's a matter of few seconds.
I mean, David, I hear you speak, right? And whenever we have the festive season, you talk about Easter. We'll still have this conversation around Easter. Right? We get towards December, it is again the very same conversation, and it is year on end. Right now, we've seen the team that has been seconded, So we have the traffic department, police sending their team. We have the judiciary sending their team to ensure that our roads are safe. And one would ask the question, when it comes to licensing, of issuing licenses, it is a year-long process. When it comes to inspection, it is a daily thing that ought to happen. When you talk about respecting traffic rules, there is no single time when these rules are suspended. They are always there every other day.
Thank you.
And one would say, if we are finally to fix the problems on our roads, it is not by making things tighter or respecting the law during the festive season, but a daily occurrence that happens, and by that we build a habit, and Kenyans will get to respect the law. Are we doing it the right way? Are we doing it the wrong way? Or is it just because we are seeing the numbers go up and finally think we need to act? Shouldn't it be a daily thing that people just respect the law?
Thank you very much. In fact, you're very correct. It is sad that you see the police, the judiciary, everybody now is on the road because it's the festive season. But ask yourself, from January, we have lost over 5,000 Kenyans. 5,000. Even before we reached to December, over 5,000 people were dead before even the festive season. So road safety is not about a festive time. It is a continuous thing. Like now, when we have an accident, you'll see so many crackdowns. Ask yourself, why are you bringing crackdowns and you want to show that people that you are working? No, the police officers are supposed to be on the road always. It's not about festive season. Because, festive season, we normally lose so many people that 1 month. But can you see that the trend now has completely changed? Like now, the month of August, we have never lost as many people as the month of August. So it's supposed to be a continuous thing. It must be that drivers, even if it is to retrain them, let the retraining start so that we know that the people who are on the road, because vehicles don't cause accidents. It is the people who cause those accidents. The vehicle will go the way you drive it. So if you are having somebody behind the wheel who is properly half-baked, then what do you expect? You expect such things to happen. So what our government should do is to make sure, let's not be talking about festive season, because you'll see this will come to an end. By January 10, then everything will stop. And then we will raise the numbers again to 5,000, and then we start rushing again. Easter, and then again to Christmas time. This must be a continuous thing. I think 2026, I think even the people who are in leadership, and I always say, we really need what you call the very goodwill of the government. And for sure, and I will say this without fear and or I contradict myself, I don't know. But I want to tell you, our government has no goodwill. That is a fact. Because if you see a government with a very good will, things run, things go well. And also, we have started seeing another thread of accidents, like Njoroge, how he died. Even if you want to kill somebody, try to use a bit common sense.
Wow.
Don't just do things, because when we visited that, you even if somebody is from nursery, you don't need a rocket scientist to tell you that this is stage managed. And we've been saying this. We have so many accidents. We call them accidents, but every accident must be properly investigated, because many accidents are not accidents. They are crashes. And these crashes are caused by some people. Somebody want that crash to happen, because maybe there's somebody somewhere you inside there, but you want that person to die. And you know very well that when an accident happens, there's no investigation. It is an accident. An accident is an accident. I think even now they will investigate this because it was an obvious case. But if we really woke up in the morning and found that vehicle going a truck, we'll be believing that this man crashed himself. So there are so many things happening, and I think it is time Kenyans should wake up. I even say, even our religious leaders. When there was COVID, I could see the religious leaders were talking everywhere. But this one, you sometimes wonder, even God himself, even the devil, he's worried about us. Even the devil himself, because we are killing ourselves. We are killing our people. And you can see the trend. If we continue like that 2026, I'm telling you, it is dangerous. It will be very dangerous.
What can people do? I mean, oftentimes, if a driver is speeding, and I'm just talking about public service vehicles, what can people do? A driver is speeding, maybe driving recklessly. How can they be forewarned? People who, most times, if there's an oncoming vehicle who's driving on the wrong side of the road and coming at heavy speed, it's usually too late by that point. If you're the vehicle on the other side of the happening. So what can people actually do in these cases that we see?
Sometimes, I'm telling you, sometimes it is difficult. And sometimes it's good now, even the government, to declare this as a national disaster. Because surely it is a national disaster. When you talk of COVID, 3 years, it never killed as many people the way we are seeing in a year here.
Yeah.
The 3 years, we never lost more than 5,000. And you see the reaction of the government, how it reacted. When there is these terrorists, they never killed as many people as we are seeing on our roads. So something must be done, because you see even our government had to take soldiers even to Somalia to make sure that it counters the terrorists. But what are we doing? And we are losing more people here. It's as if these sacrifices, I don't know, we can call it, because what can you say? Because if people are dying, and you can see why they are dying, and there are ways and measures to be taken, and you see everybody is very comfortable. And in Kenya, like in Kenya today, when somebody dies on a road accident, it is normal. You just bury that person and everything continues.
It was an accident.
It was just an accident. But we don't do proper audit of why did that accident happen, so that we can avoid another one tomorrow.
And David, when you talk about an audit of the cause of the accidents, right? So we have to call it out as it is, right? So we have the corruption that is there, both the give and the take. We have the police that are not upholding the law. We have drivers who are getting licenses without going to class, But then again, there is also Kenyans who, there is a zebra crossing, you don't want to use it. There is lights, you're just jumping because you feel like, si driver naniona gari yake siko na brake, let me go. But there is also the other aspect of our roads and the infrastructure that we have put in place to enable people move from one point to the other. And in very many sections, one would say, especially where they're declared black spots, it is based off the design of the road that is a danger to those who are using it. I will give you an example, Naivasha Road. One day you wake up in the morning and there is a bump the size of a casket that was put overnight, and the drivers do not know. You find people just running over this bump because they were put there. There is no marking, and these as well lead to accidents. So if you just look at the entire ecosystem on how, in terms of infrastructure, pedestrians as well, border riders, we talk about police and everyone else, how do we then approach this conversation such that everyone is doing their bit the right way, and that even its structural engineers are making sure that the roads that they are putting in place are safe?
As I told you, this is about responsibility for everyone. We cannot blame one side. That's why I blame even ourselves. We should blame even ourselves. Because this is festive season, but you'll find a matatu is full and you'll find somebody getting it without fearing. Then I ask you another. I've been asking these questions. Why do we have about 297 black spots in this country? And we accept, and the government accept that this is a black spot.
They even put a billboard.
And they put a very big billboard accepting that people can die here. Let me tell you, automatically people must die there because even the government has accepted that this is a black spot.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking, why is this black spot here? Is it the design? And I want to tell you, 95% of the black spots we have in this country is about the road design. So it's a matter of, even, I don't know, they wait for so many people to die before they rectify that section. Anytime there is a construction of a road, we are trying to look when a road is being constructed. The engineers must leave a black spot. You don't understand. Why? Why do they must? And they know that whatever they have done, their people will be dying there. And why do we wait for 3-4 accidents to happen in one section and we don't do something? We have engineers. When we talk of Kenya, you cannot be employed in Kenya if you're not an engineer. But ask yourself, what are they doing? So we've been having this, what you call a blame game now. Kenya will talk about NTSA. NTSA will talk about the police. We will change the police from the road, bring NTSA officers, remove NTSA, bring police. But the same thing, the numbers are still going up. So it is time we ask ourselves, what problem do we have?
So maybe it's not the NTSA and the road safety or whatever. Maybe it's people that you can. Because look at the things that are happening, David, and we know that this is the truth. And I've just over the last couple of days been of the conviction that we play a large percentage of the role here. That alcohol will alter your behavior.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you swim inside the bottle and you've done that since birth. It will alter your thinking and your mechanics. But for some reason, we think it is okay to put ourselves behind the wheel after we have had a drink or 5. This thing that people chew that they say keeps them awake.
Mogoka. Gogish.
It's a drug. Okay? It alters your mechanics. And your thinking. Drugs are mind-altering substances.
Yes.
But we do that, and then we get behind the wheel, and we say, Gari inajua, nyumbani. Or that I've been on this road so many times, I know it like the back of my hand. They know those black spots even. They say, they can close their eyes and say, tumetoka forest, tunaendelea, tunafika Salga. They know. We know. This is the thing. They can do back to... You tell me, why does a driver get on the road at 6 a.m. and is going to pick a place, Nyamira, and gets to Nyamira maybe at 2, 3, and wants to wait for 1 hour and turn around and come back
to Nairobi.
In this festive season, guess what? They will get to Nairobi at 10 o'clock, and you know what they'll do? They'll rest for 1 hour, and they'll fill up the vehicle, and they will go back. Where does NTSA come in here?
That's why I told you we don't entirely blame NTSA. We are there to be blamed, even ourselves, because like this festive season, you realize everybody wants to be high, happy. Yeah, you see, as you have said, you are comfortable. You want to drink. You want to show people that you can drink. You can have so many bottles. But let me tell you, drinking and driving is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And now we have realized that even at the daytime, people are drinking and driving. This is what you see.
Even now.
Even as we are talking, somebody somewhere is drinking. And because akoruhusa, he's not worried. Anachukua gari, you want to go. And when I say about drinking and driving, I believe don't use our roads when you're drunk. Because like this time, we have tried to analyze the pedestrians. We have lost a big number of pedestrians. But if you look at the time, the hour, this accident, the most people have been killed, it is from 6 to 10. We lose so many people. That means
6 in the morning.
Not in
6
the morning.
in the evening.
In the evening
okay.
to 10. 11.
Okay.
Why? Ask yourself, because even some people will go drink, even if you're not driving, but you'll just close the road the way you want because you're drunk. And when you're drunk, even the way, your mind, there's no way you can calculate the way you can calculate when you're sober. So, and this person is the one who has taken himself to go and drink and then think that you can drive.
You know, when you talk about that, whenever I use Ngong Road, every day, you'll find so many clubs there, and Fridays, Saturdays, you'll find the parking lot is to the brim, you know. But just slight observation, you'll realize that on the barrier in front of these clubs, right, they have been knocked off completely. That goes to tell you that every person who's leaving these clubs, one way or the other, are unable to control the vehicles and end up going with the barriers of the road. That alone should be a wake-up call, not only just to the government, because remember that is public infrastructure that is destroyed, right? So the government should move in and ask the question, why is it that as you leave City Mortuary coming up, everything is good, but if you get to this section, we have all these barriers going, right? Ask the question. And number two, the owners of these premises that allow that people come in to drink and enjoy themselves, what is their responsibility on their customers as they leave? Because if you go to other countries, right, one would look at how you're drinking and would tell you, I think
this is your last one,
enough.
man.
This is your last one. You need to go home. And others would even go further to ensure that you are not driving, leaving the parking lot because you are not in a position to drive. So businesses must continue and must thrive. The government needs taxes, but business as well must have responsibility on how much people drink, responsibility on how these people are leaving their premises. Because if outside my premise, infrastructure, roads has been destroyed, the government then will come and ask you why that is happening, and you should be able to respond. So are we all responsible, or is it mimi watu wakuje kwangu walewe waende home? Whatever else happens is none of my business.
We are all supposed to be responsible.
Yes.
What about if we are not? Now that is where the government come in.
Yeah.
Even if you go to Europe, not that these people will not drive the way we drive. They will. But because they know, even if I make a mistake, a camera has captured me, and automatically I'll be arrested. But here you are sure that whatever you do, you'll just go home comfortably. Ask yourself, why do these premises thrive when they are along our highways? Because that is where most people will just enter. Why can't we, or the government, say that we don't need these pubs just along the highways? We don't need them. Let them be at least far from the highways. So that, because I give you an example, go these kamakis, those tunazitaga nini hizo barabara zote, all that line, you will find most pubs thrive there. Because even if you are driving, you want somewhere, you'll just get in a bar, drink, have your 2, 3, 4, and then you just
go. Yeah.
But this has killed so many people. And yes, even the government should realize is that, yes, even those people who are doing this business should realize that you need that person tomorrow. Because if he takes whatever he gives you money and he'll never come there back because he's killed himself, what profit or what do you gain? So the best thing is everybody must be responsible. Everybody must be responsible. Even the what do you call it? These people who make this beer, also they should be responsible. There are places you cannot sell because you want to sell to your clients most of the time. But if all these people, like we were trying to do some analysis, we have lost personal vehicles, private vehicles, drivers. This time they were about number three, number 4. You can imagine, most of them, the drivers were drunk. And what I want to say this time during this festive season, be very careful. Because today, if you go to all car hires, all vehicles are gone. Where have they gone? They have gone with people who have not properly trained. Everybody wants to show his people in his oshags that he lives in Nairobi, and Mungu alimsaidia kanunua gari na ni kuhaya amehaya. Those vehicles most of the time huwa hazirudi. So let us, we must face this thing now on a very serious way. Not the way we just come, talk, leave it. It's NTSA, it is the police, it is Kenha. All of us, we need now to have a dialogue and think, what are we supposed to do? What did Michuki do? Michuki did nothing. He's just enforced these laws. These laws need to be enforced. That's why there is the government. And that is why I told you the goodwill of the government. Because some of these laws are not enforced. But if these laws can be properly enforced, I'm telling you, the accident will come down automatically.
Okay, this is so. I mean, there's that part of the what we do as because it could not be me, but it's collective, so it's we. But then we also see, just looking at some reports here, that overspeeding and then not being able to gauge the distance between, yourself and an oncoming vehicle is another major factor towards, a lot of the accidents that we see on the road. That an oncoming vehicle is speeding, has gone out of their lane to try and catch up, and is not able to gauge the distance between the two. And unfortunately, we've seen many. Is there a way for this particular one to then be sorted out? Is it?
In fact, we are saying 2026, we must check on that because 60% of the accident which has killed the Kenyans is overspeeding. And I think we need to have a proper dialogue because if you see the vehicles, if you see a big lorry overspeeding, if something happens, the damage is too much.
It's massive.
And that is why in our country, these trucks must adhere to the set speed of 80 kilometers per hour. There are speed governors which were brought in place. They are not in these vehicles. Now we must start asking why. Why is this not happening? And unless we start asking ourselves these questions, and that is why as an association, we thought otherwise. Instead of every time going, looking, okay, we do our audits, we realize that this has happened. But when we looked at all these things, you realize that most of these people who are employed by the government to take care of our lives, they are not doing their job. All what they do, corruption. So we decided now that everybody must work. So if you are a police officer, and I'm very happy we have a very good commander who is a bit new, but he's working. We have agreed with him. There's no way you can finish this corruption because anybody, even sometimes you talk of corruption, but sometimes ask yourself, if you are yourself, you are on that road, utakuta umechukua hiyo hongo. So the best thing is what can we do to make sure that these people don't collect that hongo? I introduced to them like the double cam jacket, whereby these are used in other countries, whereby every officer going on the road, he has a the dash cam jacket, so that any discussion is discussing with the driver, another person is watching. We also need these cameras. For instance, we have so many cameras in this country, but you realize they are only used when there's a crime. Only when somebody like Njoroge has been killed, everybody's asking, there were cameras there. This is the time the cameras are used.
Yeah.
But these cameras should be used. That was government money. The cameras which Safaricom did, government used a lot of money. But ask yourself, what are they doing? We are talking of adding cameras, but we are not using what we have. Before we think about adding more cameras, why can't we use what we have? Because if they can use those cameras, and somebody driving knows that if I overspeed or I am not driving well on this section, tomorrow I'll be followed.
Sure.
Today, let me tell you, today, believe me or not, if I get the registration of your vehicle, I even know who the owner is and where he stays. Because all the data is there. Why can't we use that? That's what used in other countries. And already cameras are there. So when I hear people saying we should have cameras, why can't we use what we have?
What we have. You know, David, there's a joke that keeps running around, right? So the other day, Eldoret, the city, was cameras were installed. And when they were installed, pretty much the town almost came to a standstill because you find it is a new thing and people don't know how to use them. Yeah. And one would just pause and ask, okay, fine, you are a driver. You went through driving classes. You understand what red, what amber, what green means. Why is it difficult to then use this facility that has just been installed to make your life easy? And goes back to the other question, the other conversation we're having in terms of who are these people who are on the roads and what kind of licenses do they have? If just reading the simple instructions by a traffic light is a problem, you know. And you also look at Kenyans and the monies that the government has spent to put in place infrastructure, signage, and ensuring that you get to cross the road in the right place. And we do not follow that. You know, you follow that together with a police officer that you say you told the commander haitawaisha corruption iko hapo on a daily basis. But you read and remember what Mishuki did, and all he did was implement that which is there. Yeah. Kenya does not need new laws in terms of manning the traffic rules in the country. We do not need to have new officers sent during festive season. All we need to do is implement the already existing laws. But why then don't we have political goodwill that Mishuki was accorded back then to make it a success? Is it that the government that does not care, or is it that they're dealing with bigger things and traffic rules is not important, despite the fact that 5,000 people are dying every year?
One, as I said from the beginning, the goodwill of the government. We should ask ourselves, who benefit from these accidents? Who really benefit?
Somebody benefits from accidents.
Of course. Many people benefit from these accidents.
How?
We have people who are getting rich within no time. We call them like the ambulance chasers. These ambulance chasers work with police, work with doctors in hospitals, work with... And it's a game involving so many things. When these accidents, for instance, don't happen, there are people who will get poor, because they get whatever they get from those accidents. We have lawyers who really benefit from them. And even our law is not very clear, because you see today, if you have an accident, and for instance, you are supposed to be paid, you don't get that money direct. There is a law which should be changed, whereby it is your lawyer who will be given the money to give you. So many lawyers don't give anybody. And when an accident happens, maybe 3 people are dead there. Then there are people who will benefit from there, and they will even raise these figures. If you go, many insurance are going under. Why? Claims. Because of these claims.
Okay. This is very interesting, because to imagine that somebody, well, I mean, it's not too far-fetched, because it can be a possibility in the minds of people, but then to imagine that people thrive off of that is interesting. I want to go into a part of this conversation that we've not been in, looking at the numbers that have come out, especially after the CJ made the announcement that more people are going to be put on the roads in order to make sure that the wanton corruption that we see then doesn't occur during this festive season. First of all, and really quickly, a quick answer. What are the reasons that police officers are on the road right now? And this is highways, this is county roads, this is, inter-county roads. Why are police officers on the road? Officially, before you give the answer I know you want to give.
Now, all the police now. In fact, we see all the department of the police are brought on the road this festive season.
Not just traffic police.
Not just traffic
police.
Because traffic police are not many. But ask yourself, why at this time? Why were they not there in January? Why do we react when things are happening? Why don't we follow the law? All what we need is follow the law. Forget about all this drama.
Yeah.
The court will be on the road. The police will be on the road.
NTSA.
All that is drama. Michuki did not do all those things. Let us implement the laws which are there. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so what's the reason they're on the road? They're to be overseeing traffic. We're going to get you some water in a bit. But we're overseeing traffic. Are they overseeing traffic? That's why they're on the road? That's what you said?
Yeah,
all right.
It's just about traffic.
Okay. Now, these are the numbers that we're looking at from yesterday, all right? And the official, unofficial numbers. You're using a mobile phone while driving. These are the common minor traffic offenses and penalties. Yes. Using a mobile phone while driving, you're breaking rule number 559A1 of the Act. The penalty is 2,000 bob.
Yeah.
All right? Failure to wear a seatbelt. 22A 3 and 4 is what you're breaking. Penalty is 500 shillings. Passenger boarding, alighting outside authorized stops, you're breaking 66, and the amount is 1,000 shillings. Picking, dropping passengers outside authorized stops is 3,000 shillings. Failure to obey traffic signs, that comes to 3,000 shillings. Failure to obey lawful directions of a police officer, Pakgari up a letter license, 3,000 shillings. Speeding, exceeding the speed limit by 6 to 10 kilometers per hour, you have to pay 3,000 bob. Exceeding the speed limit, I'm sorry, that's you have to pay 500 shillings. Exceeding the speed limit by 11 to 16 kilometers per hour, we're going to ask you for 3,000 shillings. Rider or passenger without protective gear on the back of a motorcycle, such a thing is 1,000 bob. Failure to carry or produce a driving license on demand is 1,000 shillings. Failure to renew your driving license is 1,000 shillings. Driving without valid license endorsement for vehicle class is 3,000 bob. Failure to exhibit your plates is 1,000 shillings. Obstructing traffic by leaving your vehicle on the road, just like that, 10,000 shillings. Driving on or through a pavement, the way we see it done every day, is 5,000 bob. Now, this is officially.
Yeah.
But truth of the matter is that a lot, if not all of this money goes into the pockets of police officers, or you're asked to, from what we're told, withdraw from this number or this pay bill, whatever the case may be. So these folks are on the road where we think or imagine that folks are on the road for traffic rules and all of that. They're on the road to get this money.
Yeah, sure.
Because people will make mistakes every day, as they do.
Yeah.
But they're on the road to get this money.
Yes.
Where there's the maintenance of law and order on the road is exacerbated by the presence of police officers on the road.
Yeah.
Is it true that we behave worse because of the presence of police on the road? If they were not there, would we be behaving better from what you see?
Let me say, sometimes this police help. Let us say that Sawa, there is a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That one, we have to deal with it. But it is also important to know that when the police are there on the road, some people behave. And what you are saying with Kome, what she's doing, I think is the right way. She's doing it in the right way, whereby now our courts are there, instant fines. Will reduce this corruption. And when you give, like now those fines, the way you're reading them, you know that I've committed this offense. I'm supposed to pay 1,000. If I have that 1,000, I pay, I'm through.
If you don't?
Because if you don't pay that money, that time your vehicle is you're arrested or whatever happens to you. But those instant fines will really help. But when I come on the side of the road safety, the safety of the people, that will not help because they will maybe, they cannot be all over a road like now Mombasa Road. They'll be specific in a certain place and people will behave in that specific place. We need to have mobile vehicles moving, whereby you know very well, whatever you do, you are caught up with you. But when you tell me today, you go the Thika Road, you put a roadblock somewhere, everybody within a very short time, they know that there is this roadblock.
They're going to run away.
Somewhere.
Yeah. They tell each other.
And they communicate.
Yeah.
So wherever the accident will not happen on that roadblock. But after that load broke, that's the time you'll see an accident has happened. So what is there? The police should be on the road every day. We don't want even to hear these things called crackdowns. We don't want to see that it is festive season. Now we have so many police on the road. No, we need them on the road.
Okay. I'm sorry, but this money that they're collecting, this money that we've read out, this list, where does that money go? Who's collecting this money? Does it go to a bank somewhere? I remember a very good friend of mine, Eric Lassif, went to Tanzania and he made a mistake on the road. And on the spot, he was fined and he could see in the system where that money went. He paid the fine, did the business. The lady cop told him, carry on, go on your way. This money, where does this money that's being collected here, where does it go to?
Let me tell you, they are creating a lot of corruption here, first in the first place, because Kenyans should be knowing that if I'm caught, I'm supposed to pay to this pay bill.
Yes.
That goes direct to the court.
Yeah.
But here you are told you've been doing this, bring this money.
Yeah.
That money you give the police officer. Do you think that police officer will take that money anywhere? That is their money. So is also another way of corruption. And let me tell you, there are people who are very comfortable. I told you, any situation, there are people who benefit. Like now, the police officer and NTSA, this is their time to celebrate because they will be making that money as you are saying. But if today you know, even when you are driving, that if I'm caught and this is 1,000 and I'm supposed to put in this pay bill number, the pay bill number should be everywhere. Everybody knows about it. So that immediately you are caught. And when you go to developed countries, you pay through a system.
Yeah.
Even yourself, you'll see that you have paid that money. It is in the system. And even maybe on your phone, utaona that money has gone to the judiciary. But this one, they have given and they are on the road and there is no account and they are not telling us, are we going to pay via M-Pesa or pay, okay, if you are paying via M-Pesa, which number is this you are supposed to put this money?
Let me give you an example. There's a time I was driving along Thika Road and I had a flat tire. So I put the vehicle aside to change the tire. I was on a service lane. And with all my cons and everything so that I'm safe, I'm able to change my tire. A police officer comes and asks, what's the problem? I have a flat tire, so I'm changing the tire. And he proceeds forward to say, vuta huyu jamaa. So he came with his tow truck and whatever, and they pulled me. And we get to the police station, and this gentleman decides that he wants to put me on the stage and not get me inside the police station. So I tell him, I'm sorry, but take me inside the police station and we conduct this business inside the police station. So I tell him, fine, you arrested me because I had a flat tire, but I don't know where my mistake is because I was not obstructing anyone. And he says, the first thing I need to do is pay 5,000 shilling to the tour guy. I told him, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not going to pay this guy because this is a civilian. Any money that I'm paying is on 222. That President William Ruto said any government business is being conducted. And the officer had a problem because at that point, the individual needed to be paid because he has been hired. Telling the officer, that's your business with him because the person who's arrested me is you, who is the government of Kenya. And the officer insisted that I pay the 5,000 shillings. I said no. He took me to court Wednesday, I remember. And even before I went to court, he called me back and asked me to take my car and go because I had not broken any law. That is in this Kenya. It happened to me. That is my story. Which then begs the question, have our roads just turned to be a business enterprise?
Deal networks.
Deal networks. Because even when you are arrested, where do you take the money to?
That's what I want.
Where is it going to?
So
Because if you say 222, fine, it's 222, and then how do I get to say the judiciary's account for me to say I have this message and I can show that I paid the fine and that it is the government is the custodian of the funds.
And if I can quickly just add a question onto that, is that even with this now recent announcement of the CJ that there will be added personnel on the road during this festive season, it has already started to spark the mind of people that they're already saying to themselves, which way are we going to use on the roads today to avoid this thing, which then raises the risk profile on the roads already, whether we like to admit it or not. So then how do you deal with that?
In the first place, as I told you, you can now imagine, as he has said, put that roadblock anywhere. Kenyans will know where the roadblock is. So it is making no sense. We are losing more Kenyans at night. Will they be there at night?
Okay.
So all these questions, we have so many vehicles at the daytime, and that is the time the money can be collected. But at night is when we are losing a big number of people. Will they be there? No. So the thing is whatever they are doing, I'm not in agreement. When I go to road safety issues, it is not going to save anything. People will continue dying. Accident will continue happening because that driver, and when they are going, I don't know whether they'll be having the ACOBRO. I don't know. Have they written when somebody is drunk how much is charged? I don't know. Because we have the PSV drivers who are going on drinking when they're on the road.
True.
We have Buddha riders who are drinking and they are riding these bicycles. What are they doing with these people? There are very small things they can do. These are just a way of collecting money. This is another way of getting revenue. And even that revenue, it will, at the end of it, most of this money will go to people's pocket, not to the government. And it's a market which has been opened for those who are doing the job to get money. It's another market. But it has nothing to do with road safety. The government is not going to benefit from it. We are saying we are in the festive season. Can the law be followed?
Okay.
Can the law be followed? Can the police be on the road to make sure that vehicles are not overspeeding? Can they use these cameras to know who is doing this? Can they make sure that even if it means using ACOBRO at the daytime, when they only do that, we will reduce these accidents. But all the other things they are doing, they'll go on the road. This is just a drama on some people to enrich some people. Yes.
I mean, we're coming to the close of this, but I mean, I guess for people to know your traffic laws, don't, for God's sake, don't drink and drive. And overspeeding, you overspeed for 30 seconds, but then life is lost. There's damage of property, and just a very scary imagination on the road. What would be your last words? We're getting into this is the weekend where people start to travel proper. David, what are your last words in terms of caution?
I would like to tell the listener today that it is about your life. This is not about the government. Let it be corrupt. Let the police be corrupt. Let NTSA be corrupt. But it is about your life. Make sure that you observe the traffic rules. Make sure, because during this time, we'll lose so many people. You should not be counted to those people who are going to lose life this Christmas time or this festive time. And it is about you and your life. It's about your behavior on the road, because you're going to use that road. Please make sure that you are careful. If it's a driver and you know that you are taking people to their places to be happy and with their families, please make sure that you follow the law. Don't drink, don't drive. Make sure that you take your passengers, make sure that they are, check your vehicle. It is a good vehicle before you take that vehicle on the road. And we have so many vehicles which now will be on the road, and they have not been on the road for 1 year. But now, because it's a time for festive season, please take care. Think about it again. It is about your life. Any time you exceed the speed, the more chances of you dying. By the time you are increasing the speed, try to move. You will reach where you are going.
Yeah.
Overspeeding kills. Speeding, and I want to say something which I saw somewhere, that the speed which you are moving your vehicle with is the same speed your body is moving.
The impact it will get.
So if that vehicle is stopped, you will move with that speed outside
Until it stops.
until it stops. So please, it is you. Please know that we are just trying to tell you, take care of yourself by taking care of our laws. Let the traffic laws be followed by everybody.
David Njoroge with the Road Safety Association has been here with us this morning. An important conversation that we may not want to listen to, but it is necessary for us to, so that we save life. Thank you for being here this morning. As we get into the season, please, folks, be careful and do what you can do to ensure that life is protected. Asante Sana at 2 minutes past 8 o'clock. Good morning.
The latest news from around...